All right, all right, all right. We are live and welcome to the midweek Maduro. What is going on, everybody? This is yours truly, Duncan Ramon Echevarria. I've already sent out the invitation links to the guys. We're going to have a fun night tonight. We're going to have a special guest. We're going to smoke something really, really unique and fantastic that we've talked about. We've ran specials on. So, hopefully these guys are going to get the message and act on them as ASAP as possible. That's all I'm saying. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm looking really forward to tonight. What's going on? Michael Carter has jumped on board. He is the first. He is a true and tried pioneer of what we got going on. Ron Brown, what is happening? My main man, Daryl Everson. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on board. We got the first one about to join us. That is Seamus, Irish man Tully. What do you mean? Oh no, you're already on board. People are listening to you. What's wrong with you? I can hear you. Where are you? We can all hear you.
I'm using my computer. Last time you couldn't hear me.
I can hear you just perfect. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah, it's because I'm eating.
Well then there you go. So like I said,
yum.
And Kerry says if I'm sending the link, I'm about to tell them that I already did. So Kerry, I sent you a link to your.
Show me the money.
Okay, I may have to lower this because you are just way too excitable over there. Let me see, bring this down just a hair. Why is it that you're not on camera? Why are you not on camera? Come on now. Why are you not on camera?
Because I'm eating.
Oh, well, it's okay. Well, man, stop eating and jump on. Who cares if you're eating? You know, people have seen other people eat all the time. Let me see. I'm going to send Mr. Kerry Horney the message that he is being requested. So hopefully he'll jump on board, and we're going to have a good time tonight. If anything ever decides to cooperate with me. As all you guys know, I am the most technologically challenged human being on the face of this earth. Let me see. Of course. Come on, Kerry. Let me see. Close on this one. Let me see. Check your email. Check email for link. Okay, Horney at Yahoo.
Where's Mr. Striegelmeyer?
I have no idea. I sent them the link at the same time that I sent it to you. So it's interesting. I sent everybody the link at the same time. I've sent links out. Kevin Thompson. You can do a watch on YouTube and leave a like. Absolutely, man. You can leave a like, share, do all kinds of fun stuff, brother. I'm really, really excited about that. So there's nothing wrong with this. Seamus apparently has decided to not be on camera because he's eating. What would you possibly be eating right now that people would be bothered by that? And don't say haggis.
How'd you guess?
Well, a little haggis never hurt anybody. For those who do not know what haggis is, it's sheep's entrails and brains that have been boiled with just a dash of seasoning, just to make it a little tastier. Can't go wrong with haggis. What's going on, Q-Dog? Quincy Simpson. We got Daryl. We got a few guys from South Carolina. We got definitely our good buddy Ron Brown from RTB Cigars as well. A Charlotte man, Michael Carter, Kevin Thompson. Looks like a good lineup of folks jumping on board, and hopefully we will get the rest of the guys, jumping on board with us. So I'm very, very excited about that. Got scared there. I thought that there was a hula baloo outside, but no, it is just my dear little doggy wuggy, Mr. Jackson, getting all excitable out there. Carol West has jumped on board. Definitely, we're going to use small words so that Seamus can understand. I'd like to know where the hell Mike Striegel is and Kerry Horney. What's going on, Kevin? How you doing, brother? Thank you very much. Absolutely, man. Listen, Ron, main man right there. For those of you guys that are not familiar with Ron, Ron does RTB Cigars, fantastic line of cigars. It's truly what boutique cigars are all about. Daryl Everson did a really great review, as a matter of fact, some time ago on them. So if you're not familiar with it, reach out to him. It's fantastic. And we're about to be joined by the main man himself, Kerry.
Hey.
Kerry. What's going on, big brother?
What's going on, man?
Look at you, man. You're looking all dapper and handsome. Holy Moses. I feel like completely underdressed or something.
I was told I had to wear sunglasses
Sunglasses, because you know
because
what?
you have a bright personality that's blinding me.
Yeah, well, you know what they say. The sun never goes down on a badass. What?
Or a fat ass.
Yeah. Seamus, get in front of a camera. And where the hell is Mike Striegel? That's all I'm saying. Jesus. Seamus doesn't want to be on camera because he's eating. I don't know what the hell he's eating. There you go. Look at him. Oh, look at that. Was that so bad? Was that so bad?
Oh, there he is. I was wondering where your pictures were, where you were.
Yeah, man. Listen, Seamus, if you don't have one, you need to go get one, because tonight is the night that we've been telling everybody. This is Sweet Gringo Smoking Night. Sweet
grass Gringo. Jesus.
I don't
Christ.
have one, but I do have
Sorry,
a Filthy Hooligan that's got Candela in it.
I'm gonna shoot you if you smoke that shit online. I swear to God, if you light that crap up, I'm gonna shoot you. If you don't have a Sweetgrass Gringo,
What kind of show you running, Duncan? He's gonna smoke a filthy hooligan.
Filthy hooligans. God almighty. Look, there's Mike. Do you have a Sweetgrass Gringo, Mike?
We have Carlito Fuente on the show. Carlito, we're all here smoking my father. How are you? Good to see you.
Carlito Fuente. I agree. Can you imagine that? You're killing me, Seamus. Look at that. Mike has stepped up his game. He is smoking his Sweetgrass Gringo.
Is this any better?
Well, we're gonna let that one slide. There you go. There you go. There it is.
I don't have one. The only one I've got that's got Candela in it is the Filthy Hooligan. All right.
Oh my God, Kerry, on behalf of the Irish kid, I apologize. We're gonna be all right. I guess we're gonna be all right.
We'll see. I guess. All right.
Okay. Mikey, finally you joined us, but you may want to get a little closer to the mic. Love you, Mike Striegel, everybody.
Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2. Got them both.
2. Not everybody. There you go. Not everybody has that really good mic that Kerry has. I'm just saying.
Yes, it's awesome. Faux mic.
It's just my phone on my front porch.
Hey man, that's a beautiful backdrop. Being on the front porch or back porch, you can't go wrong with that. Seamus, keep stuff in your face if you need to. Don't worry about it. You'll be all right.
Well, if I was on the back porch, I'd be taking a shower, and you guys wouldn't want to see that.
No, nobody wants to see you taking a shower, Mike. I mean, nobody. No, that's not gonna work.
Hey, Mike, you notice that we're the only ones with our first names? Like, we're the only two schmoes with one name, and then we got Duncan Echeverria and Kerry Viajante got full names. We're just too lazy to put our
You could have added your last names. How hard is that, guys?
We're just lazy. That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't internet. How do I interwebs?
Next time I'm going to add your last names, and they may not be what you want to see on there.
Duncan. Yeah, it's Duncan's fault. Now you're really going to have a name on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Seamus the jackass Irishman and Mike the dipstick, Striegel. There you go. So listen, this show is not about anything except having a good time tonight, Kerry. I just want to let you know that. I know that you do a really wonderful, informative show, which is the Stogie Road, which is now back. It's back officially on Thursdays, right?
Yeah, Thursday, 7:30, back officially. The Boutique Cigar Association podcast, Protected Legacy, is moved to Fridays at 8 p.m. So, yeah.
So for those of you guys who also want to follow Kerry and really learn, you're not going to learn with me. You're definitely not going to learn with Mike or Seamus about cigars. You got to watch the Stogie Road, 7:30 on Thursdays. I
learned from you, though. I learned everything from you.
That's scary. Don't say that. Please don't say that. That's scary.
I spent
wait, he did not say what he learned, though.
Good point. No, we spent years together doing a show. I learned a lot from Duncan. I ignored most of it, but very, very knowledgeable.
That was probably the smart thing.
Been very helpful. But yeah, Thursdays at 7:30. I'm gonna have Jake Nobles on this Thursday of the Duke Cigar.
El Duque.
Yeah.
Oh God, you said enough.
And Friday we're gonna have on Sam Lecchia, however. I mean,
Sam Lecchia, man.
I got freaking yelled at.
Wow, the Stogie Bird Man.
Stogie Bird this month.
Is that the chosen one for the month?
Sweetgrass Gringo is in the Stogie Bird delivery monthly pack for May. Yep.
Well, damn, that is going to be fantastic. So for those of you guys who don't know, Sam has a phenomenal trajectory, and he's one of these, like, he's still very young by many standards in our industry. Sam started about 12 years ago, give or take, 15 years ago at most, with the most, a very iconic cigar today, which is the Nub cigar line, which is Oliva cigars. He came on to the, I guess, the stage like a powerhouse, man. So the Nub cigars were made him very famous. Then, of course, he proceeded to do the Nub Canes and all the different blends in there. I believe he also he did the Luchador series or the Lequia series when he went on his own. And I mean, he's done just some amazing stuff. So
knowledgeable guy too. Great to talk to, man. I mean, he's really very down to earth.
I don't think so.
What's that?
What'd you say, Mike?
Check your text message.
Check my text message. Mike is probably sending me something like your phone.
No, it wasn't me.
Okay, no text message from you, Mike.
No, I said it wasn't from me.
Okay, good. So no text message. I'm good. So far I haven't insulted anybody. Yeah, Kerry. Kerry, this is not your type of show. Remember, nobody here is techie.
Of course it is.
Morons, and we just enjoy being that way.
Michael has joined the dark side down there. Thank you.
Yeah, apparently Mike is one of the Sith Lords.
There's a little bit of a cross breeze from the rain, and I don't like getting wet in the face.
All right there, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That is not the cigar you're looking for.
Oh, there goes Seamus.
That is not the cigar you're enjoying.
He just made Seamus disappear. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
of course.
You don't like getting wet in the face, huh?
Listen, Kerry, I just got off the phone a little while ago with someone who says, thank you from Puerto Rico. The captain of the USS Enterprise, Mr. James T. Kirk himself.
Tiberius.
I'm telling you, he said that he got a nice little pack of cigars from you. Very excited to just dive into them. So James Kirk says, thank you.
Yeah, he sent me a message. He said, hey, do you have any samples so I could smoke them and promote Doña Noli? I said, call freaking Doña Noli. What are you calling me for? Anything else you want? You want me to grab a couple Camachos so you could,
No, leave that up to Seamus. He's smoking LFD to promote the Sweetgrass Gringo. You're killing me, Seamus. You're killing me. Had I known this.
Stephen Finley just hopped on. The Chief.
What's going on, Chief? How you doing, brother? One of the heirs to the clan Finley people. I love him.
Yeah, he's got a good show on too. On Turner How You Come From Heaven. No, we were actually joking around about it. I went to go visit Bob. He did a review of the Sweetgrass Gringo. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it. But I went over to the Love Shack that's being built.
Love Shack.
Spent some time with Bob and Steven. And yeah, Steven's show's on Thursdays, YouTube at 8:15. He does a great show, the Chief. I think they got a pretty decent guest coming on this week too. So there's your shameless. There's your plug, Steven.
There you go, like father, like son.
Maybe you can run a VSR banner for 5 seconds underneath. I got a couple extra bucks. But we had a great time. Though. It was a blast.
You are. I've always said this. You are a far better man than I will ever be. But man, you can say stuff that I cannot say. You're a good guy. I'm not. I'm just.
That's because I speak English properly, Duncan. That's why I can say things.
And so true on that. And so true.
Yeah, listen. You know my Spanish is bad. When I sung "Happy Birthday to Your Mother," I think I sung "Happy Ass Day" to her.
Or something about a gato or something about a cat. But
Cumpleaños feliz.
Yeah, ano. By the way, ano in Spanish, A-N-O means ass. So he kept telling my mother, "Wonderful day of ass to you." So, awesome. She looked at him and she says, "Well, mijo, at my age, I'll enjoy any day of ass I can get." You know.
Oh, sorry, Steven. Big guess for last night. My bad. Look, Steven, I'm trying. Give me a fucking break. No, I love
Wow.
Del Unoli.
So, Kerry, let me for a couple of minutes. I want to be serious. So that a lot of folks who I've been talking up the Sweetgrass Gringo for a while. We have a great promotion on it as well. Right now, currently, if you buy, a box of Sweetgrass Gringo through the website, which is scrolling down there, we're also sending everybody a bag, a pound bag of gourmet Cuban coffee with that as well. So, but tell us what the heck was your inspiration for the Sweetgrass Gringo? I'm sure you've already said that story a million times to all your thousands and thousands of followers and
thousands of customers, thousands of followers.
thousands. So, what was it that why a Sweetgrass Gringo? What is it about it?
Well, when I was watching The Shawshank Redemption,
Oh my God!
I saw Red smoking a Candela cigar. He said, "My friend Andy likes this." No, I miss my friend Andy. No,
Stop! We need to stop.
listen, you and I talk about cigars all the time, and the one thing that I'm a fan of Candela cigars. So after we launched and did the Edition 35, and then we did the Edition 35 in Lancero, I wanted to come out with something different. So I called Gabby and I was talking to her. I said, "Listen, I want to do a barber pole Candela," and I had just smoking. Is that the word? I just smoked.
Smoking, yeah. By the way, who's Gabby? Who's this Gabby guy you talked to?
Gabby Caffey of Cafe 1901 and Cafe Tabacalera.
Look
You
at
can
that.
visit him on cafe1901.com.
There you
But I was, we were talking. I said I want to do something different, and I said, but I just smoked a Candela Maduro, and I did not have a good experience with it. I'm not going to mention the brand, but I didn't have a good experience with it. I felt like the flavors were battling for my taste buds and my palate. So I said, I want to do a Candela Connecticut. God bless you.
Thank you.
And he goes, Candela Connecticut. We could do that. We could do Candela. He goes, we have great recipes. He goes, I learned a great deal from the Reyes about Candela. And he goes, Candela Connecticut. He goes, no one else has a Candela Connecticut out there. Just pure. And I said, well, let's do it. So we started talking about the what my profile was, different tobaccos, and we came up with the cigar just based off of, for me, I like barber poles, and there was absolutely no Candela Connecticut barber poles, none. And that's where the inspiration was for the cigar. Now the name, it's funny about the name because one of the first people I told the name to was you.
Right.
And you were like, this is awesome. I love it. And then I ran it by, I was telling a story last night. I said, I text Gabby. And I'm like, yo, Gabby, I got a name for the cigar. And I sent him the same thing I sent you. It was a picture of the cigar with Sweetgrass Gringo. And I got a text message back. No.
Typical, for those who don't know, that's typical Gabby Caffey. But continue.
No. I told Jennifer. She's like, I don't like it. I'm like, all right. So I told Gabby, when he said back no, I was like, that's the cigar name. So as time went by, it started to grow on him because he said, listen, that does have a hook to it. It is catchy. The Sweetgrass Gringo, the Sweetgrass is inspired by the Sweetgrass basket makers down in Charleston Market. They have that barber pole look to them.
Yeah.
It is literally a tradition and a craft that was brought over from Africa, and the Sweetgrass in the Low Country, they gathered it up and they make these beautiful baskets out of it. And when you walk down the market, if a horse doesn't walk by, it smells like sweetgrass, and it reminded me of the Candela tobacco. And I'm a gringo, so Sweetgrass Gringo.
but also one of the things that I've seen a lot about your design work and marketing and what you've done visually is every part of everything that goes into your cigars has a beautiful story, has some really neat anecdote. For example, I'm looking at that beautiful emblem behind you, the SRC emblem, which is the nautical star. I love that the very first time that you even showed me that it was just pencil work. It was just some simple design sketching. And you said, I'm thinking of incorporating this in the box with the standard Stogie Road Edición 25. And then you showed me, of course, that beautiful picture of your grandfather. I mean, even now, when you said the story about the sweetgrass sort of origin, if you will, there is history. I mean, there's a certain real tie to everything you do that has to have meaning, history, and beautiful storytelling behind it. I like all of that.
Thank you. It's all it's all family oriented and where you live and honoring, those things in your life that you appreciate. The box. I'll show you this box because it's the same as this box, just green.
Wow, look at that! How'd that happen?
Green and tan, like the connects. But this, when Gabby and I were talking about what we're going to put on the front, I had that standard Stogie Road, a logo with the car and stuff. But when we were down in Orangeburg, we were going across the street at night. And Gabby goes, "Hold on, this is great lighting. Let's take a picture." And he took a picture. So when we were talking about doing a box cover, I ran this through some cheapo, one of those apps, and turned the picture into a drawing, and that's where we came up with this. So that's me down in Orangeburg, South Carolina.
I always loved that from the first time that you showed me that picture, and you told me that it was just you guys driving around or whatever, and you stopped.
So spontaneous, man. And Gabby was just like, "This is perfect."
Nothing overdone. It was just, I think sometimes simple is the greatest thing you can, but that came out awesome. I love it.
And what's funny is this door right here in the background. If you look really close,
yeah, 35.
Number 35. And that was like, we didn't know that. We found that out as we were going through this. But
Jesus, Seamus, clean your nose. I saw something.
I was gonna say, man, you got a couple villains in the Bat Cave. And then this is obviously my grandfather, the compass, and then there's the overlay of Greenville, a map. Now this is a picture of my grandfather from 1938. The map is of Greenville, 1938. And like I said, everything is just really focused on family and home. And I'm from Pennsylvania, but South Carolina's my home, and that's just we wanted to keep it that way, keep it local.
So what was the 35 for, though? Because you brought it up, but what's the 35 tie into you?
That's when I thought I was going to live to 35. When I lived to 36, I was surprised all to hell.
Join the club, bud.
I know, right? No, I mean 35 was my brother's number in high school, and he's my big brother, hero. You look up to him, so I start wearing his number. And 35 is kind of to honor my football coach and a dear friend who we lost a couple of years ago. It's to honor all the guys I played with, all the guys who I'm teammates with, who I'm still friends with, honor my school, because I learned a great deal and made a lot of great, long-lasting friendships down there. And, when you play sports, especially when you play football, especially when you're a freshman, they don't know your name. They just know by your number. Hey, 35. Hey, 35. Hey, 44. So it was just a little kind of homage to that time period in my life where I made some of the best long-lasting friends and lost a very dear friend of mine a couple of years ago. It was a huge shock.
It's a good thing your brother was your hero. My brother's an asshole.
But he's a great musician, though. He's a great musician.
Man, he is.
It'd be a tough sell, right? Edition asshole.
So you played college ball pretty much all through college. I mean, how far did you go? I mean, I've seen pictures of you, man. In your prime, you're like terrifying.
I went to college and got my diploma. I played college football. I had fun with it, you know. I haven't played lacrosse one year. A lot of us who played football played lacrosse the last year because we were bored and fat, and then went out played lacrosse and lost 30 pounds.
Boredom.
But I mean, we had a blast. You know, I love it. I mean, I was just texting some of my old roommate and some college buddies this afternoon, busting balls. Still, I mean, nothing's changed. It's like I'm sitting here. I'm gonna be 50 this year. I'm sitting in an old man's body, and as soon as I start talking to those guys, or when I meet up with them when I go back, to Delaware, and you run into them, it feels like you were on spring break, and some of these guys I hadn't seen for 20, 30 years. It just seems like you're on spring break, and you just pick right back up.
Wow. Except for all the heavy drinking and partying, but you pick up right where you left off, basically.
You pick up where you left off, and you're like, "Oh, is that your kid? Oh, okay." So there's kids around, and then, most of their kids are grown up and adults, and then it's like, "Hey, you guys, no, I'm gonna go to bed. I gotta go back to the hotel." So, back in the day, it was, "Where are you crashing?" "Well, I'm crashed at this person's house," or "I'm just gonna sleep in my car." Now it's, "I got a hotel, and I'm gonna."
Wait, you guys get sleep?
What's that?
You guys get sleep?
Well, usually when you went back to a house to sleep, it was not to sleep; it was to do other things.
Yeah, exactly. But those were the college days. Those were the college years. I got no memories of that. I got as far as high school. I told my dad, I suck at school. So he said, "Okay, well, there you go. That's all I need to know." And I went no further. But I love one, because he's my best friend, but listening to his stories, man. I've seen some pictures in this, football outfits, and I love the story of how your coach was so much like a second dad to you as well.
Very much so. Yeah, I mean, he was. He was.
I mean,
Caitlin Finley.
And by the way, Bones has just jumped on board with us. Barry, what's going on, brother?
What's up, Bones? And Caitlin Finley's on, my favorite Finley. Yeah, Coach Strass was like my dad.
Also, and Miss Jennifer Winfield says, "Hola, Noli. Espero que estés bien y tomaremos un café pronto," which means to everybody, Jennifer, which is the lovely, beautiful head woman in Kerry's life, said to my mom that soon she looks to have a coffee with my mom. Thank you very much, Jennifer. I appreciate that. That's beautiful. And for you guys who don't know, Jennifer is the baddest Jersey girl I know, hands down.
And a coffee snob, too.
And a supreme coffee snob.
God.
But look, I love that. So I've been smoking this now for about a good inch and a half. Mike, without consulting with Seamus, because he's not smoking one, but Mike, what do you like about that Sweetgrass Gringo?
One of these kids is not like the other. One of these kids is not like the same.
We'll ask Seamus what he thinks about the LFT later.
This one, it's a nice light mid cigar, and it's one of those things where it pairs pretty well with the IPA from Jameson's.
Nothing wrong with that. Little Jameson's IPA. Is that what you're drinking with it now?
That's what I'm drinking with it right now.
God bless that. I'm not pairing anything with anything right now except the cigar with a cigar. I have had this with a little bit of. Oh, look at that! Look at you. You'd be
vitamin water.
Yeah. Agua vitaminica. I've had this with Patty's Irish whiskey. I like it a lot for that because it's not a heavy whiskey. It has a little sweetness to it that I enjoy with this cigar, and it enhances what I like to call that beautiful dewy sweetness of fresh cut grass that sometimes you really do attribute that to this cigar. I remember the very first word I said about the cigar, and I will never forget it, is enticing. It was a cigar that from the smell to the taste to the experience, I said, man, I could really chug this cigar, which I don't like to do with cigars. And by that, I mean, I just like to keep puffing and puffing and puffing. Yeah. I enjoy it. It's got a little zing, but it's not a heavy spice. It's got a sweetness that I enjoy to it. And definitely a little bit of those lighter woody notes, if you will, whatever the hell they are. Again, I'm not the vaunted Bob the Cigar Finley. You know, I'm not him. So we lost Mike. There you go. Mike is gone.
Vaunted.
You know, that's a fancy word for saying the big man himself.
Oh, okay. Very good.
There you go.
I use pontificate, and people think he's a big brother. But vaunted, that's a good one. That's a new one for me.
You like that? Every now and then, not always, but every now and then. And then, of course, your LFD tastes like I don't want to know about it. So there we go. That's good.
LFD is a good cigar.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. Don't they also have a Candela wrapper too? If I'm not mistaken.
They do. The Claro.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You know what? I was told by someone that was the best Candela that they've ever smoked, and I smoked it and I thought it was good. But I'd rather smoke their other stuff. If I'm going to go to a Candela, and one of the things that influenced me in this was the Fuente.
The 858 Candela?
And he's back.
What a beautiful cigar. I mean, really, listen, I like Roma Craft's Candela.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is killer. I mean, that's a flavor bomb. It's great. But I really enjoyed the smoothness of the Fuente Candela. And I wanted something like that, but a little bit, but spicier. You know, give it a little bit more pizzazz to it. And the one thing I find about this cigar that I've heard from a lot of folks is it's very deceiving, because when you look at it, you think it's going to be light and creamy, and when you start smoking it, you're like, okay, you know, it's got some spice to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a strong cigar. I wouldn't say this is This is not a full-bodied, full flavor, in-your-face cigar. But it's not one like, if you've never smoked a cigar a day in your life and you start out with this one, you're going to know that you might be out of your league there. You know, I love it. I think the flavor profiles fall within that medium plus range. The strength to me is a straight medium. The draw is flawless. I mean, literally, you could cut this, you could punch this, you could V it, you could do whatever you want to it. One of the things that I love about it is that perfect draw. Matthew Simpson, what's going on? Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being here, man. Great draw. The aesthetic appeal also of just when you take that cedar wrapper and you look at it, wow, man, it's like a seamless blending of one wrapper into the other. Really, really very, very well done. I know some years ago you smoked a double wrapper cigar. We're not going to say the name, but one of the things that we had a discussion on that you said, why did it come undone? Why did it just kind of like pull apart? And we discussed that sometimes when doing a multiple wrapper cigar, a lot of folks don't use a rather large portion of the leaf or a half and half. They just use a strip. And when you use strips of leaves to do all these different wrappings, it's a little bit more fragile. There's fraying, there's breakage, and this literally never. I smoked all your barber poles. The Stogie Road Edición 35 is a perfect example of that conversation.
Yeah.
You could smoke that son of a bitch down to a nub, and it'll never once unravel.
I burnt my fingers plenty of time on that one, and you know the Lancero is the same way, and I love that the guy, you know, the folks down at Tabacalera Cafe and Tabacalera San Geronimo. I got to give Oscar and all the folks down there all the love and shout outs I can, because you know, they do a technique with rolling the Lancero that's different, and that's the reason why when you smoke Lanceros, I love a Lancero, but you do have that potential for plugging. Seems to be kind of the bad rap that it has, or I don't want to say bad like rap, but you know, bad reputation. But the way that they do the Lancero for the Edición 35, it doesn't plug, and it's got a massive amount of smoke, which is really something that you don't see with a lot of Lanceros. It has a lot of smoke. So they do a great job down there. I love them. Much love to everybody down in Honduras, working hard.
And one of the things that a lot of folks may think that when I do my greetings in Spanish, because I want to make sure that we don't lose anybody out there, is and Gabby told you, and you didn't, I don't think you knew, but that you are being followed by everybody at the factory. They watched your show. The employees enjoyed it. They got to also get to know who you were in the studio and enjoy everything you did because
Yeah.
you're promoting their artisanal work. So that's a beautiful thing, man. That is fantastic. Again, my hat is off to the people in our Latin American countries that produce such beautiful, beautiful works of art, which are the cigars that we enjoy. You mentioned the Fuentes in the Dominican Republic, Tabacalera Cafe and San Jerónimo in Honduras. You're talking about also, a good friend of ours, Felix Mesa in Nicaragua. So
Yeah.
I never like to forget anybody. That's why I say, always a blessing in Spanish to them because they are really the heart and soul of what we smoke a lot of the times. And to everybody out there, man, muchas gracias. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Felix is a great guy. Earlier when we were giving joking around, but you really introduced me to a lot of these folks. If not all of them. The first person I met was Felix. We took a road trip to Miami, Duncan and I, and Duncan slept the whole time.
I completely. I'm not gonna lie. I am not the best co-pilot at all.
And we did pull into a gas station like 3 a.m. I think I don't know what the hell we were seeing in the pickup truck that was next to us, but it was not a legal transaction of what was going on. But we roll into Miami and we pull into Felix's place and we're driving all night, tired. Felix just started throwing cigars at us, coffee at us. Then he brought Cuban food in and just fed us. And then it was just one of the most. If I was to tell anybody, if you're going to have a first experience with somebody who's a cigar brand owner, and that would be the experience I would want someone to have, because it was so friendly, so inviting, and the conversations and everything was such a great time.
Hey, Duncan, you got a right large ass on you.
I tell you what, I've been told that many a time. It may not be deep, but it sure tell us wide. I'm telling you, Kerry, the things that go on here. Okay, so on that note, Seamus, Mike, you got the main man right there. We've had him before with us, and any questions on any of his cigars? Whether it's the Stogie Road Lancero, the Edición 25, the Sweetgrass. Now, Seamus, I know you're not smoking it now, but you have smoked it in the past. Thoughts, memories, anything about it that stuck in your mind that you may say, hey, Kerry, what the fuck about this?
Well, I do remember that it was a very light cigar. I got a lot of hay, and it was actually one that I could almost inhale because I was trying to retrohale, and it went the other way. And I realized, I was like, oh, that's actually not as harsh as maybe something like an LFD or maybe a heavier cigar would be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I dropped my ash. Not the first time.
We like to say it's hey. It's interesting. For both cigars, I was really shooting for, and when I talked to Duncan a while back when I did the Duncan, I don't know, he's a jackass. I wanted a cigar that a experienced, cigar smoker, someone who does like, darker cigars, heavy cigars. I wanted someone like that to be able to enjoy it, but I also wanted someone who was a kind of newer cigar smoker and maybe wanted to try something a little bit spicier. So something that's not going to kill somebody, if you will. But also, if you're because I like darker cigars. I like full body cigars, but I really wanted something that was going to, appeal to both sides of the fence. And the other influence I'll say, and Duncan, I think you could speak to this too, is, Paul Gamarian makes one of the best freaking cigars I've ever smoked. And when you ask me which one, I'll say all of them.
I agree.
Like Christopher Walken, all of them. It just, because most of his cigars are medium. If you're going to talk about Paul Gamarian, A lot of them are the mild medium, a good solid medium, but the flavors you get off of it is just so crazy. The transitions are just so incredible that if you're someone who likes darker, full-bodied cigars, I dare you to smoke one of his cigars and walk away from it and say, "Man, that cigar wasn't great," because they are incredible.
And for those of you guys who don't know, there's a question on the screen from Barry, and I don't know if you can see it, but I'll say it real quick. Paul Gamarian is a gentleman. I think it's McLean, Virginia, is where he's got his
Virginia, yeah,
his store / office and distribution center. The Paul Gamarian brand was something that I had never heard of. And one day when I was working down at Tobacco Plus in South Carolina, Kerry hands me one, and after I smoked it, had a conniption for it. I said, "Wow, where in the hell did you get this?"
full of shit. That's not how the story goes, Duncan.
It's not okay. Then how is it? No, you brought me information first or something. Again, I'm telling you, man. See, that's what happens.
When I used to travel, Duncan would introduce me to cigars. You know, he introduced me to Cafe, El Galan, Mike Bellotti, all these different cigar brands, and I would take them with me, and I would give them to friends and shops up in the Northeast and introduce them to those cigars, and then I would find cigars and bring them down for Duncan. And I think, Duncan, back then, I think I brought you Cornelius and Anthony in Blackwork Studio, and they were nowhere to be found around here. And I brought him Paul Gamarian. And then I love Paul Gamarian, so I brought him some more. And I was texting him. I go, "Duncan, I'm up in McLean. You want some more Paul Gamarian?" "No, I'm good." I said, "Listen, if you don't like him, just freaking tell me. You're not going to hurt my feelings. If you don't like the cigar," he goes, "I haven't smoked one yet." I said,
"That's true.
One.
That sounds exactly like Duncan."
Okay, so the chair recognizes the gentleman from North Carolina with his hands raised up. Well, what do you want to say, Seamus?
Me? Okay, me. All right. Here's a question for you guys and the room, everybody commenting and watching. Has there ever been a cigar that you've never heard of that you found in a cigar shop out of state? So like if you went to like New York, or if you went to somewhere in the Midwest or something like that, a cigar that you've never heard of, but was like sort of like a hidden gem, like this is amazing, I can't believe I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
What he just talked about, the Paul Gamarian. I mean, I had never heard of it, and he's correcting me. And some people know that I get cigars and I just leave them alone for a while, and I don't go to them for months at a time until I get to smoke them. So when he finally got that out of me, I said, he goes, "Dude, you got to smoke them." And I swear to God, he's bigger than me. I thought he was going to beat the crap out of me if I didn't smoke him next time he came back down. So, he's one of the very few guys I may actually run away from, because in real life, Kerry is
I can't catch
him. And I'm terrified of him. I'm admitting to that. I'm scared that if he ever goes angry with me, he'll kick the fuck out of me. But Kerry, what about anything? One really crazy gem that you said, "Wow, look what I found." Have you ever come across something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because when I would travel, that was what I always looked for, right? I always looked for the hidden gems. So I'd find, I found Cornelius and Anthony. That was one that I'd never heard of at the time. It wasn't around here. When I first saw Blackworks, I'd said, Skulls, Greed, Hornet, Killer Bee, give me a break. It's all gitchy. And then Matt from Ned Cigars gave me one, and I was like blown away. It's a great cigar. You'll find some local stuff. I don't have them on me now, but if you go down to Charleston, there's a shop down there. The name escapes right now. I apologize. But they have two brands that are theirs that are freaking incredible.
You're talking about Lianos de Palma.
No. That's a good one too. But no. I was talking about. I'll look them up real quick. But yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens a lot.
Pretty cool, man.
So I look for that. First thing I ask him is, "Do you have anything in here that's different, and I can't find anywhere else? Do you have anything in here that's local?" And then I look for age stuff. I found some Camachos that are just the first Corojo that were released.
I remember I smoked those with you, and I thought they were like freaking like something insanely fantastic to smoke. I still have that box that
Box
you.
of 18. Yeah, box of 18. God, I mean, it's just, you know, in my travels, I've been able to find little gems here and there. I mean, hell, I can't even, God, there's a place in Philadelphia, the cigar brand that's been around since like the mid 80s, and they're just local.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it happens. And, um, I that's the one thing I really like with my travels of being able to find some of those hidden gems. And back in the day when Duncan and I would do the Stogie Road show and the Cuban's Crazy Commute, that was the thing. We talked about the shops I visited, the cigars he smoked, and I'd always come back with a handful of cigars of different brands and stuff that I see. Hey, Duncan, because I was like, I knew a little bit about cigars, but I was like, Duncan, did I do good? Did I do good? Is this a good one? You know.
Big good.
I'll tell you what, man. I seldom can say that I was disappointed with any of the stuff that Kerry and I exchanged or he brought back, because a lot of it was just really, truly gems. One, what a lot of the things that I don't really say often is that you people may think that don't know because you're just fairly new in the industry and whatnot. But one of the things that actually put you above or gave you an edge is you traveled so much, you experienced cigars from I don't even know how many states you've been to. You have like a card catalog thing of like 300 shops or whatever that you've been around. I mean, your tapping into that alone gave you such an amazing perspective on wonderful regional blends that are not everywhere. Maybe cigar brands that only a couple of places were ordering because they did well there. So that really nurtured, I think, what you wanted to do in the future with your own brand and gave you something that was a little bit of a leg up. Kerry, real quick, Barry had asked a question earlier. He said that last night, what are your thoughts on the PCA being canceled?
I mean, I think with the environment, with all the restrictions, it was a no-brainer. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
everybody knew it was going to happen. It was just just delaying the inevitable. Um, you can't have a big event like that where you have everyone standing 6 feet apart from each other. You know, with masks on. It's a shame. I mean, it really is, because when you talk about, you know, I don't know. It's a shame, but it may be a saving grace, because we know that there's the big companies pulled out of the PCA this year,
Mhm.
and then this happened.
Yeah,
So this might be kind of a really nice reset for next year.
I agree with that.
Moving forward. So, um, you know, it's hard to say, but safety first. You know, and I
Safety third, right after being cool and lunch.
And also for a lot of you guys who don't know, Kerry, his background, he has worked for a company that did or does medical clinical trials. So you travel because of that, but you have a lot of good knowledge that deals with medical industry. Working also with Dr. Gabby Caffey, one of the very few doctors within the industry who's a brand owner. Our good friend also, Dr. Oscar Rodriguez. Um, when he really talks a little bit about some of the things that are going on within the industry and health wise, I tell everybody, stop and listen, because there is experience there. There is knowledge. I've learned a lot of stuff throwing questions at Kerry on my own, like, hey man, is it really, like this medical study being done or whatnot? And listening to him in conversations with Dr. Gabby Cavi, it's engaging. A lot of big words I can't follow, but you do learn quite a bit. I mean, these guys can tell you cigar smoking, man, dude, one a day, two a day, or in my case, way too many a day, possibly. It ain't gonna do shit to you. Seamus says you're up to three a day. Is that your normal 3 a day?
No, I did 3 today that I can't talk about, and then
Damn.
I did 3 yesterday. 2 were, what were they? One was, and I think they were both LFDs actually. And then
big LFD fan apparently.
Yeah, I did 3 today. This is my third. I did 2 earlier than I could.
Kerry, how many
my fourth actually.
good day count of cigars for you?
I'll tell you what, man. When I was traveling, it was maybe 3. Now that I'm working from home,
10.
it's 3.
3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon.
I have cut down. You know, I've been getting out, walking, exercising, trying to cut down on the amount of cigars that I smoke throughout the day. Depends on how stressful the day is and what's going on. But you know, when traveling, I mean, I'd have one in the morning, and I'd have one around lunchtime, and probably like 1 or 2 in the evening. You know, not even. After dinner, I'd always get a hotel room with a balcony and sit out and smoke a cigar.
Yeah,
Dude,
my
nice.
normal is 1 a day. Usually traveling back from Charlotte.
And believe it or not, you know, when I was doing the commute, which when I was down in South Carolina, it was a 3-hour damn commute. I loved it because I could smoke a great cigar, have a cup of coffee in my car. While I was down there, unfortunately, I couldn't smoke, which of all things was always one of the things that bugged me at the shop. But on the way back, I'd be smoking another good Stogie. So I only did maybe 2 cigars a day. A lot of folks, when in the shop, they would see me. They would say, Duncan, you would smoke, 5 or 6 cigars a day. And I go, no, not really. In the shop, I only did about 1 cigar a day. A lot of times I talk to people, go back to it. But if you ask my mom how many cigars she does a day, I think I lost count after about 6 or 7 a day. And she's 77, man. That's just like holy Moses. But she enjoys a good cigar. She can't go wrong. She loves it. And she's 77. Shit, damn.
So am I.
Yes, I can see it. The gray hair. Sure, man. I'm well into now the last third of this cigar. It's just got this really beautiful kind of zing in the mouth. I love that still that sweetness is in the background. I don't want to say you get those barnyard flavors or smells, but I do enjoy the fact that, as Seamus, you said, a little bit of that hay, a little bit of that, very, very enjoyable.
Mike, what do you think?
We'll ask Mike when he comes back.
What do I think about what?
Just say yes.
No, I know you.
So, Rafael Castellanos has joined us. Hey, Rafael, how you doing? Todo lo mejor para la gente de la República Dominicana. All the best to my Dominican brothers. Muy buenas noches a ti. What a great guy. He's also a fantastic brother to leave. So, again, another great individual. Latino brother, man. I love this.
That's funny. When I saw that empty chair, it reminded me of when Clint Eastwood put the empty chair and... Well, President Obama, remember that he put that chair there and talked to a chair at the Republican National Convention. And just left an empty chair, and I was like, only Clint Eastwood could pull this one off.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man, that's the main man right there.
That's a good thing you didn't say get 3 coffins ready.
Oh, dude, Jesus criminy. So we are still running until all supplies run out because we got a ton of great coffee. Anybody who's interested right now, we are doing the Sweetgrass Gringo right now, special price on the website. It's mind-boggling, really, really great deal. It's $105 for the box of 10, special price. Plus, on top of that, we're throwing a 1-pound bag of the gourmet coffee along with that, complimentary. So it's a great way to pair them together as a morning cigar with a good cup of coffee. You cannot go wrong with that. Order today, order right now. It's until supplies run out, and let me tell you, get it in because we had a back and forth just on a funny note. Kerry was like, Duncan, you can't do a damn pre-order. We don't even have a date when they're arriving. I kept saying, Kerry, I swear to God, this is gonna be like damn like hotcakes, man. It's gonna be insane. I got to do it. I swear to God, he was like, I think he's gonna reach over and kill me over the damn computer.
I wasn't going to kill you. I just said, look, you know, we've already been delayed a month for the launch. I don't know when they're coming in. I'm not going to speculate where they're going to come in because as soon as you say, well, they're going to be in Tuesday, Duncan, or next week, I realize that as I'm getting next week out of my mouth, he's posting something. So I'm like, I don't, and all kidding aside, I did not want to make, I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So I don't want Duncan and all the people who pre-ordered to have to wait any longer than they have to. I just believe in full transparency. So if it's not available, I didn't want to say, I think it'll be in next week. And, you know, we were lucky and blessed enough to be able to get them packed and shipped from Honduras. And as soon as we got the boxes here, the UPS guy's got 2 boxes in his hands. Now, I'm not some big strapping young lad like he is. And I'm like, hey, can I help you? He goes, yeah, here. And as he's handed to me, he goes, they're 45 pounds each. Like, what? Holy shit. Good information to have maybe about a foot earlier. But as soon as we got them, we were unpacking and shipping and sending them out as fast as possible. So,
and I already saw you posted, dude. These things are selling nonstop.
Big Daryl Iverson, what's up, buddy? Vodka on the rocks. You know, Daryl and I talked about vodka, and I said, I remember I was in a hotel in Virginia, the one I always stayed at. And I remember texting Duncan, I go, hey, would vodka go well with a cigar? What do you think? And he's like, I don't know, try it. I was like, thanks for that brilliant insight. And we start going back and forth, and he said, listen, anything will go well with a cigar. I mean, but give it a try and see what it's like. I'm sure it'll be very cleansing. And Daryl and I talked about some of the vodka sweetness really complements the cigar really well, but I found that it cleanses your palate almost like ginger does.
Yep.
And it pairs really well with the cigar.
It almost resets it. Don't you think that it like almost kind of like gets you ready for, you know, you take a couple of sips and now you're like, okay, now I can enjoy more of that cigar.
It was a nice pairing. It really was. And Daryl's right. When I talked to him, there is some sweetness to that vodka that does pair really well with a cigar. But wow, I was just really impressed with it. So for a while, I would go up in the evening after eating dinner. I'd get a vodka straight up, chilled straight up with a couple of olives, and I'd sit on the balcony and I would drink that and smoke a cigar. And it was perfect combination.
What do you like? What kind of Daryl, since you're listening, and also Boston, Jimmy, what kind of vodkas do you like with your cigars? What do you like, Kerry? What of a vodka do you go to?
I'm just a straight up Kettle One.
Nice.
I like Kettle One. I've had 3 olives, but I think their quality went down when they started trying to add flavored vodkas. But Kettle One, I do like Belvedere. I just like it chilled straight up in a martini glass with olives in it, just straight up like that. Perfect.
Can't go wrong with that, man.
I do like a nice scotch with a cigar. I do. One of the things Dave and I from Boda talked about was he took a picture of the Sweetgrass Gringo. He smoked it and loved it. He said, "This I'm pairing this and encouraging people to drink the summer ale with the cigar." I think Mike, you mentioned an IPA.
What'd you say, Mike?
I can see the sweetness in a summer ale going well with it.
Yeah, sweetness. I know you mentioned an IPA, and an IPA is good. But I'll tell you what, I've had IPAs that were too hoppy, and depends on the cigar you smoke. It's like, hey, I really like this beer. Hey, I really like this cigar. It's not like peanut butter and chocolate. It's like peanut butter and nothing like chocolate.
Yeah, well, I'm drinking the Jameson's Whiskey IPA, and now I'm trying it with the Jameson's Whiskey Stout. IPA goes a little bit better.
Yeah, John was here. John popped in. And I was like, John, I'm really sorry I don't have time to smoke a cigar with you. I'm like sweating bullets. I'm unpacking boxes and everything.
Yeah, John Stowe's a good guy, man. I love the fact that every time that he was in town, because he's from Georgia, he'd stop in at the cigar shop. He has ordered boxes with us. He's always supported the Doña Noli brand in and of itself, and even with the transition that we just went through. I mean, John has come here to the house and he says, "Man, I'm here because I want to continue supporting what you're doing and the brand, and we love what you're doing." So I know he was really anxious to get a hold of you, meeting you, because that was the first time you guys met too. Also,
Yeah. Time we got a chance to meet. And I felt bad because I just got the Stogie Road Lounge all set up here, all done up. But we had 5, 6 big boxes with just product filled, and I was like, ugh. It was. Jennifer and I were at it for hours, trying to count it. And as I'm counting it, she's packing it and sending it out. Not a bad problem to have.
no, not at all. And it's funny because as soon as I think I posted a picture, as soon as I received stuff here, that very same day, I was packaging and making sure that I had everything packed up. And I mean, I literally had, I think it was 10 orders that folks were just waiting on just a Sweetgrass Gringo to come in. Mike, you bought 2 boxes.
Yes, I did.
So, I mean, there was a lot of anticipation for that. Even your other product lines as well. Like I said, hey, I wanted 1 box for us here just to keep for grabs. Well, I had to, re-ask for a little bit more right now. So that's, again, not a bad problem to have, that people are supporting and enjoying a local brand, and a very well-crafted local boutique brand that truly, in my opinion, has a shit ton of history that is the equivalent of some of the more older legacy-oriented brands out there. Look at your stuff. It's like, man, this thing has been around for a long time, but just less than a year, basically, or about a year now.
Year and a half. When we launched the very first thing that was changed. No, we had the Edition 35 was released, and then in November we released the Lanceros, and we do just a exclusive run of those. We do X amount because it takes a little bit longer, a little bit more care with the rolling of the Lanceros.
Mhm.
Right now we're discussing and the possibility of doing the Sweetgrass Gringo and a Lancero as well. I'm not really sure how to translate, because Duncan and you guys, when you smoke at the Toro or a Churchill, and then when you go to Lancero, the flavors are going to be maybe not drastically different. I've had some cigars that are drastically different, but you can really get a huge shift in the flavor profile from Vitola to Vitola. So I thought the Edition 35 translated really well from the Toro to the Lancero. It's just going to be kind of interesting to see how this Candela and Connecticut wrapper is going to transition from this Toro with the filler and getting that spiciness to a Lancero.
Well, I've seen a hashtag, just to kind of like an interesting little side note, that says hashtag Barber Pole King. We've talked about a little bit about your choosing to stick to the barber pole concept. I think that's a brilliant move. I know a lot of times, sometimes when people want to, I'm going to do my own brand of cigars. They may have 5 different sizes, 4 different blends, all kinds of stuff, and you kept it very, very tight. You said, I'm only going to do this one kind of blend. I'm going to go the barber pole, and I'm going to just really support that. And I love that you kept it simple. Why? Why not say, I'm going to do 5 different sizes?
Well, I don't know. Because size doesn't matter.
That's what she said, but she was lying. She was blatantly lying. She said, yes, it did matter. But
it's something, I also want to be a smart businessman. I don't want to come out with all these different Vitolas and yada, yada, yada. I want to keep it real simple up front and grow. I want to grow organically and naturally and not be, kind of shoehorned. So in my travels, I noticed that there's not a lot of barber poles. And, Duncan, we've talked about this before, as the barber pole came about from the leftovers.
Mhm.
I don't have enough I don't have enough Connecticut. I don't have enough Maduro wrapper to make a cigar. Let's just roll it together. And when we came, voila, the barber pole.
There you
Uh,
go.
so I think when I looked at that, I thought, we could still have that, but really put a good quality barber pole together and fill a market or enter this market where there is only a handful of barber poles. And I've smoked a lot of them, and there's a lot of good ones out there. There's some that I think are just too strong for me, too peppery. Construction issue is I noticed in a lot of them, and that's been the big one. So when I talked to Gabby, I said I want a barber pole that's good. And I used the conversation we had about the strips versus the leaves. I said I want construction to be really is so important to me. So when even in a non-barber pole cigar, to me, construction is the most important part because you can have the best blend in the world, but if that construction is terrible, it's not going to burn right. You're not going to enjoy you're not going to enjoy the experience, and you're going to get frustrated, and you're not going to be happy. So, construction is so important to me because then you can really enjoy a great blend. And um, as I looked at the barber poles, I'm like, this is what we want. And I want to continue growing in this lane, this barber pole lane, because there's so much you can do. And as we start to go, we talk about the blend and stuff. I kind of start keeping a little bit things close to my vest because I started seeing some shady shit going on out there that I'm not a fan of. And I thought, well, you know what? I guess if you're being imitation is the greatest form of flattery. If I see that going on, okay, I'll take it as a compliment, but it doesn't mean not to be foolish then. I'm not going to be a clown.
Can you talk about the blend? Is it something that's proprietary that you can't talk about? Because I really enjoy every part of this. What went into this sweetgrass green?
No secrets there, Duncan.
Well, I'm just saying. I use the big word proprietary.
Duncan, when someone says to you, Duncan, you're very knowledgeable. You smoked that cigar. Do a review. What do you get? What do you say? What's your go-to?
Jesus Christ, man! Why?
That's an interesting flavor.
You always say, "What's your one word?" What do you get?
I'm drawing a blank now.
Duncan knows about Duncan.
Even I don't know about me.
No, Doug, you know this. You can do this.
Well, I mean, for me, it's I'm not a reviewer.
I'm not a reviewer. I get tobacco. It's good
tobacco or bad tobacco, and I get great tobacco in here.
That's the blend.
I love it.
Great tobacco.
There you go. There you go. For those who were questioning and wondering, we get great tobacco, and why? Because we got good tobacco in here.
That's one thing I always laugh whenever I talk. Like, I can't talk about great flavor. The cigar guy, he goes out and raids his wife's, spice cabinet, chews on wood out in the yard and stuff, so he can get acclimated and recognize the stuff. I get good tobacco. I get great flavors, and that's what's in this. Great tobacco.
I love it, man. I truly I'm down to the last kind of bit. So and a lot of times I don't smoke. Kerry has seen me smoke a cigar, and within an inch into it, I say I'm done with it, and I put it down. And he asked, why? And I go, well, it's the cigar has told me everything it's going to tell me, and I can tell you it's not going to change and it's not going to do anything else. And I've done that with some, bigger branded cigars that
you do it too.
But
Gabby and I go, we just pulled a Duncan. We went to a lounge and we smoked a cigar. I'm not going to mention any names. And we got halfway through it, and I'm like, and he's looking at me. I'm looking at him. I go, we're going to pull a Duncan. He said, "What that?" I said, "It's not going to give us anymore. We're going to set it down and walk away."
Yeah, I mean, there's some cigars that their story is a half-told story. They told you everything from the beginning, and there's no transitions. it's a one-noter, or it doesn't just really say, hey, wait for the next part. It's like almost a book. It didn't.
Yeah.
It only got good like the first 10 chapters, and then it sucked. And you're like, okay, I don't even want to read this damn book anymore. In this case, though, from beginning to end, beautiful little, almost like a little, like a very mild burn that is in the front of my mouth. That sweetness through the tongue. There's a little bit of that kind of like almost like a tanginess on the inner cheeks that I love that in a cigar. Just that to me is tobacco. That's great aging. That's a cigar that was made. It was sat down for a little bit of time to just come to terms, and then it finally went out to the people. There's a lot of companies out there, and God bless them, that they believe in as soon as they get the cigar done, let's get it out. Gabby just joined us, and Gabby is a believer in time. Everything has a time, and you got to give everything its time.
Gabby's pissed he wasn't invited. Gabby said, "What the fuck am I not invited?"
Well, because he's violent.
No, but you know what? It is. You're absolutely right, because they, there's some folks that get their tobaccos, who they get and they roll their cigars, and they send them out. Gabby, down in Honduras, they do the double fermentation. I mean, the way they get tobacco, it's incredible. So, I'm lucky and blessed to be working with those guys, with Gabby and the folks down in Honduras, and we're looking at 2021 for the next blend to come out. It will not be a medium cigar. It will not be a mild to medium cigar. I think we're going to try and hit the other end of the spectrum.
You're going to go with full bodied, like all
yeah,
in?
yeah. I mean, I've been talking about some of the different tobaccos and what to do.
The chair recognizes the young Irish boy on the corner.
Have you heard from other people asking for different sizes, like Churchill or a Presidente or like a Robusto for your normal barber pole?
A couple folks, and I usually get the, why don't you have it to the 6x60? I'm like, I never, I don't do 6x60s. I mean, the only 6x60 I smoke is the La Gloria Cubana Spanish press, it's box press.
Yeah.
An awesome cigar. But I have had only a couple people ask about the 6x60. And that's
I think it's 8x80. That's an exciting size.
Anyway. But I did the Lancero because I did that for myself, because I love Lanceros. Mm-hmm. And in my travels, there are a couple shops that I know were big Lancero heavy shops, and they enjoyed the Toro, so I knew that they would love the Lancero.
Yeah.
So you cornered that market.
Well, actually, what happened was I started getting other shops that that really, they were not Lancero, but they were buying them because they were selling. They were just a great smoke. So I know there's probably a few Lancero barber poles out there. I mean, I know I've seen a few, but I really think ours is just really incredible with the way that they do the rolling with that particular cigar.
What I like about yours is that it slows me down, whereas when I'm smoking the Stogie Road at the 105 standard size, I always say chug or sip. When I chug a cigar, I'm really just huffing and puffing, enjoying the crap out of it. And before I know it, I'm done with the cigar, and I really look back and go, man, I should have slowed myself down. I mean, I don't know if you guys do the same thing with certain cigars that you really like, but the Lancero, because of the construction and the style of it, really actually allowed me to enjoy the blend and the cigar itself. And it gives me more time because of the actual style of it to say, wow, this cigar truly speaks to me a little bit better. And I do prefer the Cuban sizes, the traditional small sizes. I love that Lancero because it does that. It slows you down because it is also a little bit more of an amped up cigar.
Yeah, you know what else too about that, Duncan, is it's a great point because I always warn people. I said before you smoke this, be prepared to spend an hour. Like an hour. I say, don't when you whatever. If you ever smoke Lancero, just kind of your thoughts are it doesn't produce a lot of smoke and they kind of tend to plug. I said this has great smoke output. It doesn't plug and it does have that barber pole wrapper. So you're going to have a naturally wonky burn because of the way the tobacco burns. So slow down, take your time with it. Don't have to kind of pull on it hard because you're not going to get the smoke from your experience with other Lanceros, and you're not going to have to worry about it plugging. So a lot of folks go, you know what? I smoked it, and you're absolutely right. I mean, I first started smoking it, and with that wonky burn, especially the Lancero, if you start hotboxing it, it'll take off.
Mhm.
It'll take off. So you gotta be patient with it, and that's a really nice, enjoyable hour-long smoke, 45 minutes to an hour-long smoke when smoked, and take your time with it, and let it do its thing.
See, and on that one, particularly not with the Sweetgrass Gringo, but the Edición 35, I like the Lancero with a Scotch.
Yeah,
I believe because of the flavor profile intensity that you find in that Lancero format, a good quality Scotch can really balance out, and it's just so much more enjoyable. I really I was put onto a Japanese whiskey. It's called Oban. I never had it, and man, I has actually smoked that and drank that, and I'll tell you what, it's a very interesting whiskey. It's very oaky. As a matter of fact, we were sipping it the other day here at the house, and I loved it. As a matter of fact, the gentleman who put me onto it, Kelvin Bratcher, one of the owners of Still Moon Moonshine, has jumped on board with us. He bought a box of your Sweetgrass Gringo, and
Yeah.
Kelvin is a fantastic cigarologist, in my opinion. So he gifted me that bottle, and it's a great Scotch
Yeah.
with that one because when you slow your smoking and you're sipping, there's so many beautiful flavor profiles that you pick up. I think honestly that were not there before. For me, I definitely get a very, very heavy wood flavor that's enhanced with that Scotch.
Right.
People call it the oak, the cedar, whatever the hell you want to call it, But I love that, and there is a very nice undertone of almost I want to say leatheriness to it that I enjoy a little bit with the heavier, darker tobacco flavors. I thought it's fantastic. The Stogie Road Edición 35 regular format is good, but I would do that with maybe like a good quality bourbon. So just bring it down a notch, like a good Woodford, a Basil, a Booker's with that Stogie Road, really good. And if you want to really go crazy, get some of the Still Moon Moonshine, which believe it or not, it's a flavored, it's an apple pie one. Kerry, I've got to get a couple of bottles for all of us so that we can do first of all a great pairing, because Kelvin and his team, in my opinion, and I'm not a moonshine connoisseur, but they're already on ABC at the ABC liquor stores. They are at the a great steakhouse called Ruth Chris. They're at fantastic environments, and you put a little bit of ice, you put a good couple of fingers of that apple pie flavor in there, that will mellow down your cigar experience fantastically, man.
Interesting.
Great quality liquor.
Do they make an espresso?
I don't know. Kelvin is on, man. Maybe in the future they might do an espresso infused moonshine. I would be all in about that.
Yeah.
Duncan,
Yes, sir. The chair recognizes Obi Kenobi.
what
It's a dark
what
sip.
which one of the Stogie Road cigars would go best with the Steel Moon Moonshine?
I would say definitely the Sweetgrass Gringo because of the really beautiful lightness of it. I think that the apple pie,
They
the
want that.
cinnamon, and all those beautiful flavors would really enhance. Hey, Kat, how you doing? Look at that. Don't
Only
ever
Kat
say that
made an
Seamus gets good pussy. Don't ever say that. Seamus gets good pussy all the time.
Anybody want this one?
No, we're good. We're good.
No, I got two.
Mike went from Obi-Wan Kenobi to like Darth Sidious.
There you go.
the night fell down.
Carol Ann says to drop her pussy. Don't even want to, okay, you guys are friends. You do your thing. Kelvin says that he's actually enjoyed the sweetgrass gringo with his apple pie. And I think, again, that's really a great pairing.
I'll give that a try because we had the rum and the rum infused with espresso.
Yeah, I remember that one, man.
I like that flavor of the rum infused with or moonshine with espresso. I love that flavoring.
I'm all in, fellas. I'm all in.
Pie, man.
Seamus, before we begin the wrap up, any questions, any thoughts, any ideas? Now you have left the cat alone.
No, the LFD was good.
Okay, well, great. There you go. Now we have it from the Irish Corner. That really is a great tie-in. Thank you.
That's
good.
Which LFD was it?
Listen here, Emperor of the Dark Side. Any thoughts and ideas from your corner?
No, the sweetgrass gringo. Each time I smoke it, it gets better. I did notice that.
Look at that. I enjoyed mine. I put it down. I had about maybe yay left, and I think it gave me everything. Went really well. One more time to everybody. We are doing a great promotion. Special pricing on the website, $105, box count of 10, and you get a pound of great gourmet coffee to go along with that, complimentary. I'm very excited to say that I think maybe Puerto Rico might be a good, God willing, open door that might happen soon for this company down there. I love James Kirk. He's a good guy. He pilots the Starship really well. I enjoy it. Kerry, what do you want to leave us with that's the wow factor?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for having me on. It's always fun hanging out with you guys, and I can't wait till we get together live and do this. So all these things we talk about, the drinking, we could do more of the drinking and pairing would be fun.
Definitely got to visit the Stogie shed.
Yeah. Listen, you guys are always welcome. Just give me a heads up, and I'll make sure that I'm out of town. But no, definitely got to do the Stogie shed there in Statesville. I've been really blessed. The sweetgrass gringo is moving fast. It really is faster than what I thought it would, based off of the COVID-19 situation. But the 35 is going strong. Appreciate all the love and support by everybody. We are looking at coming out with a sweetgrass gringo Guayabera. Coming out from
Joseph Genovese exclusive.
YA Bear Clothing, Joe Genovese, my official, unofficial sponsor.
Nice.
We're going to be coming out with the new one. Jennifer and Joe are trying to find a really nice pattern that doesn't look like braided hair. Represent the sweetgrass. But I just want to thank you guys for having me on. I want to thank Gabby, as always. She's a great partner and leader. I want to thank all the folks down at Tabacalera San Geronimo and Tabacalera Cafe. Oscar and the gang, they're doing a great job. Tomorrow night, we're on at 7:30 on the Kerry Viajante. We're going to have on Jake Nobles. You want to learn a little bit more about the Duke cigar. He has a really great tasty cigar that's also made at the Cafe Factory. But I'll tell you, talk about the really great flavored tobacco. He's got some really good cigars.
And he's from Texas, isn't he?
Texas, 6 foot whatever, with a big old cowboy hat and a belt buckle. And he doesn't get as stereotypical Texas as they come, but nice guy, real nice guy. Recently married and has a really great cigar. I mean, just hop on. You get to learn a little bit more about Jake and his blend and his brand. And go ahead. What?
7:30 tomorrow, right?
7:30 tomorrow on Kerry Viajante's Facebook page. And every week I'm going to, bring back and reintroduce not only the folks who are down at Tabacalera Cafe, but we're going to have Mike Bellady on the show in early June, and a couple of special guests moving forward.
That's fantastic, man. Well, on behalf of all of us, honestly, thank you very much, my man. One more time to everybody, thank you very much for jumping on board today. To everybody that came on board, Gabby, Kelvin, Caroline, Bones, I saw Dustin, I saw Sam, the cigar guy.
Yeah, Sam, cigar man.
Thank you very much. I hope everybody has shared a little bit. And listen, Saturday we're going to be doing our crazier one than this one, where we meet the Irishman. Hopefully, we'll be smoking something in tandem with us, and we're going to have Lord Sidious will be hopefully. Anyways, not with us, but we love you, man. We love you. So Kartik Shaw, man, I love Kartik.
I just was up to see Kartik. He placed a nice order, so we're up in Boiling Springs and had a conversation about he was visited family in India and then was stuck there.
Wow. Now Kartik is Boiling Springs and Spartanburg, right?
Yes, sir. Tom's in Spartanburg. Great places to visit. I'll tell you what. Whenever I visit cigar shops, it's the Stogie Road 3. Location, selection, staff. Location will get you there. Selection gets you to buy. Staff gets you to stay and keep coming back. His Boiling Springs location is about 10 minutes off the highway. Well worth it. And Sir Tom is off the highway too.
I love Kartik Shaw. He is a great businessman and also a good family man as well, above all else.
Oh yeah, he's one of
us. We just want to say thank you for all that you do. You're a good example of what this is, what it's all about the right way, man. Thank you once again, everybody.
Always, man. Support, all love you, brother. Maybe I'll get invited to one of these Saturday events, hang out, maybe have a barbecue. I'll get to eat something, get some drinks. I get invited to the Skype meetings, never to the ones where there's food and alcohol.
Real quick before I go, I got a guy. He does metal fabrication. He's doing a big grill, like a one-piece big grill. And I'm gonna say this, man. I'm looking to cook a damn pig on that thing. So when that happens, everybody is happening. I don't know, but it's happening.
Pig?
I don't know,
when
Mike.
Are you cooking the pig?
Mike, you know what? I don't know when it's going to happen either, but I guarantee you, I'll find out when I see pictures on Facebook.
Yeah, you're like the rest of us.
Motorcycles.
Hey, good night, everybody. Smoke well because we all do. Take it easy.
All right, guys. Good night.
Hey, dudes. Dickhead out.